Greetings, my human friends. This is Rudolf of Germany, the tall white alien. On Saturday, the 8th of April 2017. A very special date indeed. It is the date of a revelation from me to you. The first time in human history I give you the tools of empowerment and the means to free yourself from the enslavement of the deep state and big brother who is watching you. Today you have the chance, if you take action and tell others around you to also take action, to finally start a seed movement which can, like a wildfire, spread around this planet. And this little tool, this little technique which I am going to teach you today in this video will, as I said, free you from enslavement from a small, very powerful elite. How am I going to do this? Well, very simple. First of all, you have to understand that the action you can take, if you choose to do so, will not have any kind of repression, any kind of prosecution against you. You are doing something which is quite harmless, something which is a kind of a protest and at the same time a means of breaking down the surveillance state. Yes, you can start breaking down the total surveillance system of Big Brother. And if you teach others to do so, as faster you do that, as better. And the whole international globist elite will lose their power grip on every single citizen on this planet, and people finally, after hundreds and hundreds of years of enslavement from a small capitalistic elite, will finally find themselves in the defensive and will meet the just end which they deserve for a very long time. Today is the day where I teach you a little technique of self-empowerment, a technique which, if applied by many, will lead to the total breakdown of the surveillance system and the terror, the state terror you live under. Let's start. It is very simple. Even the most simple-minded one under you can do it on a daily basis, and it is even kind of fun and very harmless. You don't have to risk anything. You know that the state, any state by now, at least in the Western world, has a very complicated, extremely expensive, and extremely deep reaching system of surveillance for every single citizen. Every human who lives in the Western world and beyond is being monitored. Cameras everywhere. In the streets, there are computers and telephone devices Every single one who has one, every one of you, is being listened to. Your telephone calls are recorded. Your emails are being stored away for being used against you in case. Then you also are being monitored by your banking system, by your insurance systems, and so on. Whatever you do on the internet platform, you can go into Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Everything is recorded. Your opinions are recorded. And they have a dossier on every single one of you. This they use to control the masses and, if necessary, use against you. This is nothing new to you. But how do you break these chains of slavery, of mental slavery, which can easily bring you into jail and make it also a physical slavery? How do you break that? Well, if the deep state is watching every single one and make sure every one of you is politically correct, and you know that, and you behave in a way so you are staying under the radar and behave relatively normal, be relatively politically correct, and so on, then the deep state has reached their psychological warfare goals against you. But the little technique I will tell you now will overwhelm their system to a point where there is no way for Big Brother to tell if you are conform, if you are politically correct, if you fit into the system and harmless, a good taxpayer so they can extort you, or if you are a dangerous terrorist. Let's disarm. Let's disarm Big Brother by his own means. And that happens if every single one of you start at a certain time of the day, whenever you pleased, for as much time as you like, a few minutes a day, act completely crazy or completely suspicious. In the moment where thousands of people and later on millions of people act knowingly and consciously crazy for a few moments up and on in the day, the system of surveillance of Big Brother falls apart and is completely useless to the deep state elite which is controlling you. Just imagine, and this is what I suggest you to do, just imagine you walking on the street in an area which is highly surveilled by cameras, or even you make once in a while a crazy email or make some kind of Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube comment, or make some kind of unusual and not decoded statements in public, in front of other people. If you do this on a daily basis and thousands and later millions do so, the system breaks apart. An example, you start moving erratically on a highly surveilled, camera surveilled public place. You start making some strange turns, you stop, and all of a sudden you, for a few meters, start running fast around the corner. This already will grab their attention. And if on this public space it's not only one who runs around one corner, but there are 10, later 20, 30, 40 who who run in all directions back and forth, same people or others would try other means like sending out emails or tweets of all kinds of weird things like sex and then bomb, like there was a song, Sex Bomb, you all remember, but put the word bomb in it together with some kind of harmless things like, I think my wife is a sex bomb, or there is a danger, my wife is dangerous because she's a sex bomb to me. This will bring the whole algorithm completely out of order, and these are only two little examples how you bring the system down. You can make phone calls with friends and you say some crazy stuff which the deep state will pick up because there are certain trigger words, and particularly you always go, if you are on social media, and make some crazy remarks. But make sure the remarks you make contain many different trigger words which are being picked up by Big Brother, but never can put you and link you to terrorism as such. Eventually Big Brother will be able to find out that you are part of a very large, ever-growing group of people who will bring down and melt down the system. This is the only peaceful way to fight Big Brother, by acting erratically, by using their trigger words more often in a very harmless surrounding, and acting on the street where you know you are being observed by cameras, and in airports and in certain other surroundings, banks, acting crazy, stopping, running, turning around, making strange gestures and so on. Then there will be a mass of millions of pieces of information, and instead of once in a while for Big Brother having somebody who acts strange and is picked up by the secret services, all of a sudden thousands of times more people act like that, and the whole system will fall apart. This is the way to beat the system. In a very harmless way. It costs you nothing. It is even some kind of fun, particularly when many people participate and everybody who observes you is doing the same thing, and they all know why it is done. It's a kind of a peaceful process which brings down the surveillance system of Big Brother. This was my suggestion of today. It has never been done or suggested before, like many other things I'm speaking here in this channel. Your Rudolf of Germany.